So, a bit of a backstory here. My grandparents' house is on a small island in Greece. Not getting more specific for privacy reasons. And it'd be more accurate to call it a small cottage. It consisted of 2 main bedrooms, a bathroom, and a kitchen. It's a bit more of an old-fashioned house, and as a result, the kitchen and bathroom are separate from the main house. It's in a rural area, and the area behind the house is occupied by forests and small mountains, for lack of a better term. Right behind the kitchen started a tree line that was fairly dense and went on for a while. Anyhow, with that out of the way, let's get into the story. It was summertime a few years ago. I think I was around 14 or 15 at the time, and my family and I were there for vacation. It was nighttime, around 11 p.m. My parents had gone out, so it was just me and my 2 siblings at home. My sister was already sleeping and my brother was taking a shower, as it helps him relax before bed. Being the oldest, I usually stayed up the latest to lock the house and make sure everything is secure before going to bed whenever my parents weren't home. At that time, I was just browsing my laptop on a table outside the kitchen. I don't exactly remember what I was doing. I think I was watching a movie when the laptop froze. Annoyed, I restarted it, since it wouldn't unfreeze otherwise. I put on a movie again, but after a short while, it still froze. I was getting weirded out at this point, because the laptop was fairly new and never froze like that, and our internet was fine. It was then that it dawned on me how awfully quiet it had gotten. Any of you who have been in the countryside at night know how deafening the crickets can be, and a few night birds are usually heard here and there. Now, it was just silent. Outside of the sound of the occasional car passing down the road, it was pitch silence. I was unnerved. Instinctively, I turned my head towards the tree line at the back of the kitchen. I was immediately overcome with a sense of dread and a sickly sense of anticipation. Then, my heart dropped as I heard footsteps rapidly approaching from the trees. And not normal footsteps. We're talking about full and heavy thumping, as if whatever was there was full on sprinting towards me. My brain was screaming at me, and I was overcome with the sudden realization that if I stayed there, I might not live to see tomorrow. I didn't stop to think. I ran as fast as I could into the bathroom and locked the door, using my body to barricade it. My brother got upset and yelled for me to get out, but I ignored him and anxiously waited for the inevitable knock or hit on the other side. But it never came. The sensation was sickening. My heart was beating like a drum and I was hyperventilating. After a while, and due to my brother being impatient, I slowly opened the door and peeked out. Thankfully, nothing was waiting for us on the other side. I grabbed a flashlight from the kitchen and a knife. It'd probably be ineffective, but it was the only thing I could use to defend myself at that point. And I began to search around the house. I didn't see anything. No footprints. No crushed leaves on the ground. No physical evidence that anyone was there except for us. In a rush, I locked all of the doors and windows and got into bed. I couldn't sleep at first. I was so afraid that whatever it was that approached me would come again, and I didn't want it to catch me sleeping. But eventually, the fatigue settled in, and I fell asleep without realizing it. I was still shook the next morning, but I did my best to hide it. When the sun was firmly in the sky, I ventured a few feet into the tree line to search for footprints. Now, we don't have any sort of large animals in the area. At most, we have some rabbits or squirrels. So I was looking for big footprints considering the sound that thing made when it ran. But again, nothing was there. No footprints of any kind. I stood there for a bit, as if in vertigo, and took in the sounds of the forest. Nothing was out of place, but I still had this persisting uneasiness, and didn't want to spend another second there. I'm 20 now, and I haven't told anyone about this incident, mostly because I had forgotten about it, until recently. I don't know why I remember it now, and honestly, I don't think it really matters. I just really wanted to share this with someone. Thank you for listening.